connected to the Gamer Down.
Hello friends, and welcome back to the Gamer Down and Rift Newb Adventures, episode number 10. This is your host, Dark Hoses. Today, I thought we would start with the forums once again, and as you can see, people are leaving the game and leaving very long letters about leaving, and yeah, the forums are quite filled up. I just picked quite a random goodbye letter. It's not that I agree with what this guy is saying, but there are a lot of valid points, and Rift does have its problems. One of those problems being griefing on PvE servers. You wouldn't think that would happen because it's a PvE server, but all you have to do is just flag at a Rift raid and it's on. And you can read this letter and see, what's going on, the diminishing returns with taunt, and they're causing nightmares, people trying to raid Rift out there, and something really has to be done about that. I mean, this is going to ruin all in-game. I mean, if this is happening on PvE servers, what the hell's happening on PvP servers? And, besides that, there's people botting in the battlegrounds, and all they're doing is just sitting there for 24 hours a day, with a G15 keyboard or something, and just looping out jump or attack commands. And just, I know the Rift has copied so much from WoW. I wish that they had not copied so many of the problems WoW has. They copied their problems as well. And things like this are becoming a common sight. Naked people all over that have been hacked. That's just ridiculous. I mean, they should have came into this game with authenticators. And as far as I know, Rift has no warden type program. So the hacking is going to get bad. Alright, first we want to start with a little achievement here that you can get at the Sanctum if you are a Guardian. And I imagine Defiant could also do this, but they'd probably get killed on the way trying, but who knows. Anyway, all you do is just get to the bridge, and you jump off one side, as you'll see me do here, and you just land in the water. Try not to take any damage. It's very simple. Then you just go to the other side, and jump off the other end of the bridge. And wham bam! Thank you, ma'am. Free achievement. Real easy. Not that big a deal, but, for all you achievement getters out there, you might have walked by this bridge 1,000 times and never knew that if you just jumped off of it, you get a little achievement there. If I want to bring up things that I do enjoy about Rift, it has to be the puzzles. I've become kind of addicted to these little puzzles here, and the rewards are quite nice, and they're always something you can use. They're always something for your class, and I think they kind of checks your items because it's always something that I could use right off the bat. And I went and did a few puzzles and the cairns as well, and ended up almost totally outfitting my guy. But I kind of made a mistake. I did it a little early. I should have waited till at least level 30 for the lower level zones. And for like Scarwood Reach, I think 35 is where you need to be to get the maximum reward. Because you want to be above the level or at the level to make sure you get the maximum reward. And if you do it too early, you're going to get the under, probably a green or something like that. And you won't get the maximum benefit. And here we're going to go do the barrel puzzle. It's over in Scarlet Gorge here. And as you see, you just follow the bridge across over here. It's a little bit tricky to get to. And I recommend that KF guide site the other day. Yeah, you need that site to find all the puzzles. And I would have looked forever if I had to find this on my own. And I even helped another player find it. The hardest part was getting here because we had to fight our way through a bajillion mobs, and he was trying to follow me, and I don't know. Yeah, I had to get this vein here because the ore in this game, I mean, there's barely any spawns. It's so stupid. It's just stupid. There's no spawns. Yeah, am I getting a little peeved at Rift? I'm getting a little peeved at Rift. I am. I must admit that I'm getting a little turned off to some of the things that are going on in Rift. Some of the things I had brought up earlier with the forum posts, and you know, you have to admit it's true. This game, I know it's brand new. You know, the game's brand new. It's to be expected. But they copied WoW, and they copied a ton of WoW's problems. I mean, a lot of the reasons people left WoW and had looked towards Rift, I don't know. Anyway, here we are at the puzzle again, and this is the barrel puzzle. And after many tries, I mean, there's no solution to this puzzle. You just have to eyeball it and match the right puzzle to the left puzzle. And it's tricky. This is like what you would find on an IQ test, and luckily I'm pretty good at those puppies. Yeah, anyway, I managed to solve it eventually. It did take a little bit of time. It seems like a little bit of the trick here is to rotate like a clock, rotate like 3 items around the empty spot, and that way you can move things around that way. And items that, like, you know, are already in their place, you know, go ahead and you can move them around, and it's a hit and miss, you know, and there's no solution for it. You know, I thought I'd almost had it here, but nope, it took me much longer. And then also people will show up and mess up your thing if you're taking too much time. You know, it's just a kind of a pain. They need to make these puzzles where they're segregated or instanced or something like that, because on PvP servers it's just a nightmare. People can't even do their puzzles. People are sitting at puzzles all day long and griefing other people. I mean, that's no damn fun, and that's just stupid, you know. That's ruining the game for others. I know that PvP servers are, you know, cutthroat. That's why people roll on them. They're made for PvPers. They're, you know, the griefing and the ganking. That's what PvPers like. You know, that's why they play PvP. PvEers aren't going to like that. And so, after much trial and error, I finally did get it open. And I got something I could use out of it. A lot of these items, I was just equipped them right off the bat because they were so much better than what I'd already had. And that's one problem that I was also going to bring up with the forum. The forum posts earlier is about the gear. The armor fucking sucks, man. I mean, it just looks all the same. I mean, level 50 guys look like level 20 guys. The epics at maximum level are just reskinned. You know, it's just bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. And I'm not sure how much my long-term survival for this game is going to be. You know, it's just that it's looking like a huge grind. I'm not really enjoying the quests very much at all. The quests are just huge grinds. There's so much shallowness to the game that, you know, that they obviously, you know, I had said one time I didn't think the game was rushed, but now I'm going to probably say otherwise. There's just a lot more that could have been done, and it's just too much of a direct copy of WoW, you know. Anyway, here we are at one of the cairns, and this is at the very top of Scarlet Gorge here. You've seen the very tall peak, like things you'd see in Arizona, and yeah, you just follow your way around here. You enter here between the gap between Gloamwood and Scarlet Gorge over there, and then you'll see the entrance on the bottom of this pillar here. It's really self-explanatory, you know, once you find the right pillar. One thing, though, I have really enjoyed these puzzles and cairns, but, you know, there's only so many of them. I mean, once I do all of them, you know, I'm not going to have anything else left to do except for raid, and the raids are being griefed, you know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of upset about Rift. Sure am. And here, you know, like one of the invisible walls that I brought up the other day, and it's, you know, there's no reason for an invisible wall at somewhere like this. You know, if you're going to encourage exploration, take up the damn invisible walls. If people crash, you know, then they'll recover. I mean, I don't know why that they would have something like this barred off. It's just kind of an idiotic thing. And here's what, I just want to say that you can go to the other opposite faction area and loot their cairns and also do their puzzles. So you can do the puzzles in every single zone. You know, you're not restricted by your faction. And there you see, I got a green, and I was very upset about that. And here's the telescope puzzle, and I believe it's Stonefield. And yeah, all these puzzles can be found on KG guide or KF guides. Sorry, I always get that name wrong. And anyway, this puzzle, you know, it says that you don't need any speed enhancements, but I failed it several times until I used my racial, which was a speed enhancement, and on that time I managed to get it. So anyway, I have about 24 days left on my account, and within that time I'm going to decide how much more I enjoy Rift. I mean, there's some things I like about Rift, and there's fun to be had. But, you know, I can imagine redoing all the quests over, like leveling an alt. And, you know, I like these puzzles. You know, as you can see, I got, once again, another pretty decent item out of here. But, you know, my long-term survival of this game is really in question. Really in question. And, you know, I've played WoW for 6 years, and I keep thinking, you know, what's the point? I mean, is there room in the world for another WoW? Is there? I mean, this game has so many similarities to WoW. I mean, you have to admit that. You know, it's just the truth of the matter. I mean, the graphics are great. You know, the graphics are much better. The rifts are cool, but they're just gimmicky, and the gimmick wears off. And here I just want to show you one of the quick story quests that I did. And I've been trying to show you all the story quests, and sorry this Rift Newb Adventures has been such a downer, but you know, I'm just just having a lot of boredom with the game already, and it's just very big concern for me already. You know, I'm wondering how long the long-term survival of this game is going to be. And here for the first part of the quest, we just had to loot some items off the ground that was just packed with mobs, and there's so many just loot item off the ground quests, and there's so many just kill X number of mob quests. Almost every single quest has been that way, and it's very disheartening. I mean, you look at where quests are in WoW right now. They've come just miles and miles. And it seems like Rift, they copied WoW from the TBC days. They copied WoW from before WoW had made its major innovations. And if they had only copied WoW like it is now, instead of trying to copy WoW like it was then maybe it would have been a bigger success, because people are looking for the next WoW, but they're also looking for something different. They're not looking for grinds anymore. I know this because I've talked to a lot of people, and I feel the same way. Nobody wants to grind anymore. People are looking for adventure. Once again, they're not looking for grinds. They're not looking for rep grinds. They're not looking for kill X number of mob quests. They're looking for fun, and I'm looking for fun as well. So I don't know. We're gonna have to see. I really think that they're gonna have to patch the hell out of this game to compensate for all the problems, and hopefully, a year or two down the road, this game will be, the giant success. I'm reserving my judgment for now, but I really don't think things are looking too good for me and Rift. I'm gonna try to hang in there. Like this quest here, was just such a grind to be a story quest. I had to go loot so many items, which were just a pain in the ass, surrounded by mobs, and then the next part, I just walked 10 feet to go talk to one mob and then go talk to her. But this part was actually the coolest part, and they're using the Rift mechanic. And yeah, I know this is Rift, but they use the Rift mechanic just everywhere, until you get tired of it. It's a gimmick, and you get tired of it. And anyway, on this last part of this quest here, you just use the quest item on these really cool looking mobs here. I know I sound contradictory, I'm complimenting the game on one end and then bitching like hell on the other end. But I just want it to improve, and I want it to be better. But I know that it can't happen overnight. I know that these things take a lot of time. It's just the very first part of an MMO's beginning. You know, its infancy is so very important. And if people are turned away at that point, then they usually never come back. It's the magic golden moment for the MMO. I mean, like let me mention like DC Universe. I lasted about a month in that game. It was fun for about a month, and that was about it. I could never see me playing DC Universe long term and forever. I mean, there's just too many grinds. There's just grinds, just like every other MMO, and you know, WoW's a grind too. You know, but at least WoW has done it better than anybody else. They really have. I mean, they have at least added a fun factor to most of the grinds. Here in like Rift, it's just flat grinding most of the time, and I have a big problem with the quests. Like, you'll have to go back to the same area and kill the same mobs over and over for different quests. You know, it's just kind of lame, if you ask me. But like I said, I'm trying to reserve my judgment. I'm waiting until I get into some raids, and I really should join a guild. Right, really, to go and look around and things, but I'm really not hearing that that's really helpful at all. I mean, it helps a little bit just to have people to play with, but it's not really helping with making the questing any more fun. I mean, just look at like Jesse Cott's video, and he has a lot of the same complaints I have. I mean, he's not as pissed off, I guess, as I am about it, but I don't know. You know, I think that a lot needs to be done before this game could be a success. And now that it's out, the golden moment is here. And if people get turned away now, they aren't going to look back. Anyway, this has been a real downer of the Gamer Down. And I am your host, Dark Atrocious. I'll try to be happier next time and try to look at the more positive side of Rift. This has just been kind of a rant today. Sorry about that.